to serve the nation with loyalty and resolve. The Army Chief highlighted the importance of supporting the government's effort to improve the lives of Nigerians, noting that the military's commitment was crucial in achieving national aspirations. Also speaking, the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, reassured Navy personnel of the commitment of the military leadership to their welfare and operational readiness. He disclosed plans to introduce new assets and to enhance surveillance capabilities to improve operational efficiency and boost troops' morale. Similarly, the Chief of Air Force, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, represented by the Chief of Administration, Air Vice Marshal Idi Sani, commended the troops for their resilience and loyalty to the armed forces of the nation. He stressed that the military's responsibilities went beyond defending territorial integrity to include maintaining stability, fostering unity, and driving the nation's progress. The Air Chief also highlighted the success of collaborative efforts among the services, which he said had led to significant achievement in counterinsurgency operations, disaster response, and other national. He reaffirmed that the Nigerian Air Force was committed to the welfare, training, and operational readiness of its personnel, recognizing that a highly motivated and well-trained force was the backbone of military success. An army have apprehended no fewer than 15 persons of suspected oil theft and illegal oil bunkering activities in the Niger Delta. Spokesman of the Nigerian Army 6th Division, Port Harcourt, Rivers State, Lieutenant Colonel Danjuma, in a statement said the operations were carried out in Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Delta, and Rivers State recently. The statement said the Army also dismantled 32 artisanal refineries and seized 14 boats during the operations, adding that between Monday last week and yesterday, the troops confiscated no fewer than 60,000 liters of various petroleum products. He said the operations were part of a broader collaborative effort with other security agencies to combat oil theft in the Niger Delta region, explaining that the raid commenced in Bile, the Gema local government area of Rivers State, where soldiers dismantled 7 illegal refining sites, confiscated 20,000 liters of crude oil, and destroyed 2 boats. Other areas of operation by the soldiers in Rivers State were Nkisa in Ogba Egbema Ndoni local government area, where they confiscated 1,600 liters of crude oil and 1,200 liters of adulterated diesel along the Ndoni Road. The troops intercepted a Toyota van transporting an estimated 1,200 liters of stolen condensate, and in Bugama, Asarituru, they dismantled 2 illegal refineries, seized 1,500 liters of stolen crude oil, and apprehended 5 suspects. The State Commissioner for Works, Rural and Riverine Roads, Mr. Charles Aniago, is now to also oversee the affairs of the State Ministry of Information. Bridget Agetu reports. And we'll take that report subsequently. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi, has approved the personal appointment of some senior officers of the Nigerian Army to various commands, staff, and instructional positions in a major shake-up. The Army Chief, in a statement by Director, Army Public Relations, Major General Onyema Nwachukwu, said the development was a move to enhance operational effectiveness and administrative efficiency. The statement said the reshufflement underscored the Nigerian Army's commitment to ensuring a robust and dynamic leadership structure capable of addressing emerging security challenges. It said the redeployment involved principal staff officers, PSOs, at the Army headquarters, general officers commanding GOCs, corps commanders, commandants of Army training institutions, brigade commanders, and other key positions. The statement named some of the senior officers appointed at PSOs at the Nigerian Army headquarters to include Major General Lawrence Fejoku from the National Defense College, the Department of Army Administration as Chief of Administration Army, while Major General G.U. Chubisi has been redeployed from the Nigerian Army Resource Center to the Department of Civil Military Affairs as Chief of Civil Military Affairs. It directed the newly appointed senior officers to bring renewed vigor, dedication, and commitment to their duties, particularly while ensuring the sustenance of the ongoing onslaught against terrorism, insurgency, and other threats to national security. The Army Chief charged them to ensure the welfare of troops remained paramount as they assumed their new appointments. Meanwhile, the Senior Special Assistant to the State Governor on Protocol, Mr. Samuel Fejoku, has congratulated Major General Lawrence Fejoku on his appointment as Chief of Administration, Army. Mr. Fejoku in a statement said Major General Fejoku's hard work and dedication to duty had truly paid off. The statement wished the Army Chief Administration success in his assignment. The State Commissioner for Works, Rural and Riverine Roads, Mr. Charles Anyagu, is now to also oversee the affairs of the State Ministry of Information. The report comes your way subsequently on our bulletin. The Executive Director
who confirmed his appointment shortly after resuming at the Information Ministry, clarified that his new portfolio was now Commissioner Works, Rural and Riverine Roads and Public Information. He said the former Commissioner for Information, Dr. Ifeanyi Swaza, has been redeployed as Commissioner Special Duties, Government House. Mr. Nyagu thanked the Governor for adding the Information Ministry to his portfolio and pledged to give his best in all assignments given him. He charged journalists to always base their reports on facts and shun speculations or rumors.
I've been saddled with the responsibility of also helping to pilot the affairs of this our dear ministry, in addition to the Ministry of Works, Rural Roads.
The Information Commissioner solicited the support of management and staff of the ministry and gave assurance that workers' welfare will remain a priority of the present administration. Bridget Agetu reporting.
Executive Director of Projects, Delta State Oil Producing Areas Development Commission, DESOPADEC, Dr. Ebenezer Okorodudu, recently hosted the management team of Bear Industry, a leading energy company, as well as the Forum of Indigenous Contractors working with DESOPADEC. The meetings held at the Commission's headquarters in Warri South local government areas provided opportunities for detailed discussions on potential collaborations and investment plans. Expressing his administration or admiration for Bear Industries' presentation, Dr. Okorodudu commended the company's investment strategies and emphasized the potential for a fruitful partnership. He reiterated DESOPADEC's commitment to developing oil and gas producing areas and generating revenue for the state government. Earlier, Bear Industries CEO, Mr. Murat Senges, delivered a detailed presentation on the company's expertise, emphasizing its capacity to execute power sector projects, modular refineries, and other funding initiatives. He explained that their visit was aimed at exploring collaboration opportunities with DESOPADEC in the areas of power, oil, and gas development. In another meeting, Dr. Ebenezer Okorodudu held a critical session with members of the DESOPADEC Indigenous Contractors Forum, which he said was to foster direct communication with the contractors, understand their challenges, and develop strategies to address them for a more harmonious working relationship. He expressed his commitment to resolving issues hindering the smooth implementation of projects, while promising to address the contractors' concerns in subsequent engagement with the management and board of the Commission. Speaking on behalf of the forum, Mr. Samson, an engineer, thanked Dr. Okorodudu for creating an avenue for open dialogue and fostering a healthy relationship between the Commission and indigenous contractors. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has filed a lawsuit against President Bola Tinubu's administration and the country's 36 state governors at the ECOWAS Community Court Justice in Abuja. The suit challenges the alleged misuse of the Cybercrimes Amendment Act 2024 to suppress freedom of expression and violation of human rights, particularly those of activists, journalists, bloggers, and social media users. In a statement through its Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadare, explained that the provisions of the amended act remained vague, arbitrary, and repressive, enabling authorities to criminalize legitimate expression and restrict media freedom. The ECOWAS Court ruled on March 25, 2022, that Section 24 of the Regional Cybercrimes Act 2015 was arbitrary, vague, and repressive. The court ordered Nigeria to repeal the provision to comply with its human rights obligations under the African Charter on Human Rights and People's Rights and the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. Although the Cybercrimes Amendment Act 2024 repealed Section 24, SERAP is arguing that the rewarded provisions still violated the right of freedom and expression. It highlighted numerous instances of alleged misuse of the law to target individuals critical of the government, citing activist Dele Farotimi, who faced cybercrime charges under the Amendment Act. Journalist Agba Jalingo, charged with cyberstalking after reporting that a relative of a former Cross River governor engaged someone to sit for her law exams. And social media user Choma Okoli, arrested for commenting on the sugar content of a tomato paste or mixed brand, among other cases. SERAP stressed that the Amendment Act was inconsistent with international human rights law, which required restrictions on freedom of expression to serve a legitimate purpose and be strictly proportionate. The organization is also seeking several reliefs, including a declaration that Section 24 of the Cybercrimes Amendment Act 2024 be deemed unlawful and inconsistent with Nigeria's human rights obligations, and an order directing the government to repeal or amend legislation in compliance with international standards.
If upgrading your TV doesn't mean unbelievable, right? But with the new Airtel Smart Router, you can now watch YouTube on any TV and also get unlimited data for 30 days to stream thrilling Nollywood movies, catch up on football highlights, and keep your kids engaged with edutainment all on YouTube. With the Airtel Smart Router, everyone gets what they love. Get the Smart Router plus unlimited data for 25,000 Naira. Visit the nearest Airtel shop to get yours. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Your walls are in for a lifetime treat with the right touch and the right paint. Introducing OC Wall Garment Paint. OC Wall Garment Paint comes in varieties of vibrant colors, textures, and glitters. It is fireproof, soundproof, heatproof, and has no bad smell. OC Wall Garment Paint is a long-lasting paint that's very affordable and safe for both residential and commercial purpose. Visit our head office at Block A1205 New Modern International Market is in A Junction, Asaba Benin Expressway, Delta State, or call Uche on 0802-700-0337. Enugu State Distributor, The Great Akon Ventures, 11 Timbershade, Abakwa by Nike Lake Road, Enugu State. Telephone 081-484-05940. Nsuka Distributor, Goddessway Plaza, Nsuka, Enugu State. Telephone 0816-120-8661. Anambra State Distributor Office, Otwe Multi-Concept Services, number 18, Mike Nwobo Street, Anambra State. Telephone 0803-936-7472. Lagos Distributor, Sonny Igbanda. Telephone 0803-653-7283. Anayo Global, Lagos. Telephone 0906-897-5528. Other African countries are Benin Republic, Ghana, Liberia, Sierra Leone. OC Wall Garment Paint, beauty, durability, and value.
Watching Delta TV Main News at 8, we return to our previous story, where the State Commissioner for Works, Rural and Riverine Roads, Mr. Charles Anyagu, is now to oversee the affairs of the State Ministry of Information. Bridget Agetu has details.
Dr. Ifanyo Swaza has been Mr. Nagu, who confirmed his appointment shortly after resuming at the Information Ministry, clarified that his new portfolio was now Commissioner Works, Rural and Riverine Roads and Public Information. He said the former Commissioner for Information, Dr. Ifanyo Swaza, has been redeployed as Commissioner Special Duties, Government House. Mr. Nagu thanked the Governor for adding the Information Ministry to his portfolio and pledged to give his best in all assignments given him. He charged journalists to always base their reports on facts and shun speculations or rumors.
I've been saddled with the responsibility of also helping to pilot the affairs of this our dear ministry, in addition to the Ministry of Works, Rural Roads.
The Information Commissioner solicited the support of management and staff of the ministry and gave assurance that workers' welfare will remain a priority of the present administration. Bridget Agetu reporting.
Meanwhile, the State Commissioner for Works, Rural and Riverine Roads and Public Information, Mr. Charles Anyagu, has said Governor Sheriff Borewori is not interested in fighting any political battles, but will continue to reply critics with massive project delivery. Ever again to Bridget Agetu for details.
Flanked by Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Sir Festus Ahon, and Executive Assistant to the Governor on Public Enlightenment, Projects and Policies, Mr. Olisa Ifejika, Mr. Nagu said there was no article of truth in the publications insinuating that the Governor was planning to leave the People's Democratic Party, PDP, pointing out that the Governor remained a proud member of the PDP. He posited that Governor Borewori had kept faith with the continuation and completion of inherited projects while also initiating new ones.
We have seen a whole lot of publication in different places, including those that are insinuating that he's leaving the PDP. Borewori is a very proud member of the People's Democratic Party. Borewori is a clear leader amongst leaders of the party in Nigeria. And Borewori is not in any way hungry to abandon the People's Democratic Party.
The Commissioner listed some of these projects to include road and bridge projects in Warri, Uwe, Staple, Ope, and Ndokwa West local government areas, among others across the state. He also cited the establishment of a campus of the Southern Delta University, Ororope, and the introduction of a College of Health Science at the institution main campus in Ozoro. Mr. Nagu mentioned the upgrade of facilities in hospitals and primary health care centers across the state, as well as funding of tertiary educational health institutions and housing projects, among numerous others.
Today, you can cross the Beneku Bridge, not using pontoon, but driving across. I have also seen the speed that have characterized the Ogwashuku, Ugeli, dual carriage, particularly sector C1 and C2, in addition to what is also happening in sector A.
Mr. Nagu mentioned the upgrade of facilities in hospitals and primary healthcare centers across the state, as well as funding of tertiary educational health institutions and housing projects, among numerous others. The Commissioner enjoined Deltans to continue to support the state government in its efforts at delivering good governance. Bridget Agetu reporting.
3 major cancer facilities will be commissioned in the country, with equipment investments will be commissioned before the middle of the year. The Coordinator Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Pate, disclosed this in a television program today. He said for the first time in Nigeria's history, 6 major cancer infrastructure and equipment investments were approved by President Bola Tinubu early last year, all of which were already underway, and 3 of which would be ready for commissioning by May. The ministry added that the government also flagged off 10 other major cancer diagnostic centers across the country 5 months ago, while 201 tertiary facilities have had infrastructural upgrades and equipment, including magnetic resonance imaging scan, computed tomography scans, and anesthesia equipment in the last year. Statistics indicate that an estimated 78,000 people in the country died as a result of cancer-related complications in 2020, of which 44,699 were females, while 34,200 were males, and it is estimated that there are over 120,000 new cancer cases every year. And we go now to the foreign scene, where Ghana President Mr. John Mahama has scrapped 7 ministries in a bid to reduce the cost of governance. Mr. Mahama's decision, which came in an executive order, was contained in a statement just 2 days after he assumed office as president. The president, who is in for the second term, had thus pruned down the number of government ministries from 30 to 23. According to the statement, the West African country would no longer have the ministries of information, sanitation and water resources, as well as national security. Mr. Mahama scrapped other ministries such as railway development, parliamentary affairs, public enterprises, as well as chieftaincy and religious affairs. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has strongly condemned the recent terror attacks in northern Benin, which left dozens dead. The attacks, which took place last week in the Point Triple area, were carried out by unidentified armed individuals targeting local communities and security forces. In a statement by the ECOWAS Commission, it expressed its condolences to the government, security forces, the people of Benin, particularly the families of the fallen soldiers. The regional body reaffirmed its commitment to combating terrorism across West Africa, stating that the importance of its counter-terrorism plan of action, which aims to address the growing threat of violent extremism. The ECOWAS Commission extended solidarity to the government and people of Benin and pledged to continue supporting member states in their efforts to safeguard the security and well-being of their citizens. The organization also urged member states to intensify regional cooperation, particularly intelligence sharing and border security, to tackle the threat of terrorism effectively. And in America, weather forecasters in California are warning fierce winds which fuel the infernos around Los Angeles are expected to pick up again this week as fire crews on the ground race to make progress controlling 3 wildfires. Officials warn that after a weekend of relatively calm winds, the notoriously dry Santa Ana winds would pick up again from yesterday night until Wednesday, reaching speeds of up to 60 miles per hour. Ahead of the wind's uptick, some progress had been made in stopping the spread of the deadly Palisades and Eaton fires, which are burning on opposite ends of the city. Local firefighters were being assisted by crews from 8 other states, as well as Canada and Mexico, who continue to arrive. The LA County Medical Examiner updated the death toll on Sunday to 24, while officials said earlier at least another 16 remain missing. In business, the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, NUPRC, has said implementation of the Advanced Cargo Declaration Solution and engineering audits of upstream measurement equipment and facilities will enhance transparency and accountability in the oil and gas sector. The initiatives, which will track the movement of crude being exported out of the country, are being executed in collaboration with P-Line Energy and PE Energy Limited. In a statement, the NUPRC said the Advanced Cargo Declaration Solution, to be carried out by P-Line Energy, will track crude oil transportation and exports from Nigeria, while the engineering audit of upstream measurement equipment and facilities done by PE Energy Limited will establish reliable baseline data for all measurement points. The energy audit will also identify gaps in production and location measurement and implement targeted interventions to enhance metering infrastructure. According to the Chief Executive of the NUPRC, Mr. Benga Komolafe, the initiatives align with NUPRC's mandate to ensure optimal government revenues from upstream petroleum operations as specified in the Petroleum Industry Act 2021. Slim Business Nigeria has received a shipment of 32,000 tons of brown rice from Thailand, marking the first major import of the commodity in a decade, as the government seeks to reduce the prices of food. A report says the shipment, facilitated by maritime logistics firm Ducat, arrived in Lagos under a federal policy suspending import tariffs on essential food items. The country introduced a duty-free initiative in July last year, which also included a 150-day suspension of tariffs, duties and taxes on commodities such as rice, maize, wheat and cowpeas. Delays in implementation, attributed to the Ministry of Finance, however, hindered its early progress. Despite these efforts, inflation remains a pressing issue, with the Consumer Price Index late last year reporting overall inflation at 34.6% and food inflation at 39.93%. In sports, Eric Schill was today unveiled as the new head coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. The unveiling ceremony took place at the media conference room of the Mashood Abiola Stadium, Abuja. His appointment was confirmed by the Nigeria's Football Federation, NFF, on Wednesday last week. The former Mali international is the 42nd substantive head coach of the Super Eagles. The 47-year-old has been tasked with reviving Nigeria's 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying hopes. The Super Eagles are yet to record a win in the qualifiers and sit in 5th position in Group C with 3 points from 4 games. Shell will lead the home-based Super Eagles at the upcoming 2024 African Nations Championship CHAN. His appointment was greeted with widespread resistance and criticism by Nigerian football fans and pundits. Back home, Governor Sheriff Obodewori has said the People's Democratic Party, PDP, will always stand by its members in all circumstances. The governor said this when he paid a condolence visit to the family of late Chief Mercy Oyemike, a PDP stalwart at Abe, Ndoka West local government area. Governor Obodewori, represented by his deputy, Samando Yeme, was received by the Oyemike family, led by Chief Christopher Oyemike, and the Abe Council of Chiefs, led by the Onotuku Chief Odili Monsa. He noted the contributions of the deceased to the party in the state, saying she would be greatly missed in political circles and activities. Chief Christopher Oyemike, on behalf of the family, thanked the governor and the party for identifying with him and his family in their time of loss and for their assurances of solidarity during the burial activities. Mrs. Mercy Ebele Oyemike, who passed on at the age of 74, was until her death a retired nurse, politician, businesswoman, and a mobilizer of the people. She is survived by 6 children, among several other relatives. Now here's our thought for the day. To fold the hands in prayer is good. To open them in charity is better. And that's the size of our bulletin for the evening, but before we go, a quick look on our major stories. The federal government has approved 4 airlines as official air carriers for Nigerian pilgrims for the 2025 Hajj exercise. Chairman of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, Professor Abdullahi Usman, who disclosed this in a statement, said the carriers were selected out of the 11 companies that submitted applications for the airlifting of Nigerian Muslim pilgrims. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has urged troops to double their efforts in fighting criminal activities across the nation, emphasizing the significance of pursuing and neutralizing threats wherever they may be hidden. The State Commissioner for Works, Rural and Riverine Roads, Mr. Charles Anyagu, is now to also oversee the affairs of the State Ministry of Information. And from the foreign scene, we reported that Ghana President, Mr. John Mahama, has scrapped 7 ministries in a bid to reduce the cost of governance. Mr. Mahama's decision, which came in an executive order, was contained in a statement just 2 days after he assumed office as president. And that's the news. Many thanks for being part of it. My name is Francis Ofulwe. Have a lovely evening. Good night.